Hello guys, this is Paula back for part 2 of our tag series. So I prepped everything because it is time consuming, and everything that I prepped is very much something everyone can do. So it's simple, in other words, all the cutting and inking. All right, so I have 4 tags here. I don't know if we'll have time to do all 4. But we're going to start with this one, and then we'll do the purple one. And if we have time, we will do the other 2. Okay? Let me make sure you guys can see. Okay? All right. My table looks horrible. I scrub it. It's impossible. Okay. So I've inked everything. And I'm just going to take everything off here that I've decided to use on this tag. Now, what makes this tag different? On all of these, I used antique paperia. It's a watercolor pastels. I love it. You know, if I could have everything pastel all the time, I would. Okay, and I'm using Tim Holtz. It doesn't have a number on here. Oh, wait a minute, does it? Maybe it does. THSO34. It's just like flowers. So what I'm going to do is, let me get a piece of paper here because I don't want to get a lot of ink on my table. So let's just put this underneath the one we're working on, and that will help. Okay, so I got manila folders, okay, and I cut 3 inches. First of all, is the width. Okay, so you had 3 inches from left to right. And then for the height is 5 3/4. And that's this height. So you have to double all of that because you're going to do it like this. So I didn't figure up the doubling it. I've had a crazy day today. I'm just going to tell you, busy, busy, busy. I haven't left this table and I can't tell you how long. So anyway, just to eat supper real quickly. So you're going to double this 3 inches wide. You want the front portion to be 5 3/4. And so you just need to make sure everything is right. So it's going to be a tag that can stand up or lie down. And I just thought this is a new fun way to do it. And we can, you know, if we decide we can cut the corners, that's great too. So we're not going to cut the corners on any of these today, but you can. Okay. You just cut one side and then flip it over to the other side. So we are going to, first thing we're going to do is stencil around the edges of, I'm getting my stencil brush over here. I had it earlier, and I just, okay, this little makeup light brush. And I'm just going to rub it into that. And then we're going to open it up because we don't want to stencil the back or the inside. We're going to stencil across the top and across the bottom. Okay, that's all we're going to need to do. And we're only going to do this on 2 tags. So that can't be too hard, right? So I'm going to line up this corner right here with the edge so that we know it goes all the way to the top, but just allow a little bit right there. And we're just going to do circular motions, and we're just going to do like an inch, okay, like 1 inch, and that's it, okay. And then we're going to flip this around and do the same thing on this bottom, the bottom portion here, okay. Want to make sure it's all the way down. You want them to be just the same. You don't want, if one's dark, you want to be dark because you want them to look like they go together. Okay, now we're going to set this stencil to the side and we can clean it later. All right, now, I'll move that out of the way. We have, as you can see, the top and bottom portion of the front half stenciled, okay? All right, so I cut out a piece of the Antique Paperia digital paper. And this is all florals we're working with. And I inked around it, but I cut it 4 1/4 by 3. You'll just have to kind of play with it. I feel like I had to, you know, lay it down and make sure it's where I wanted it and everything. But if you look, this is where it will end up. See, right here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get out my Fabri-Tac. No, you know, you could use your glue stick. But I don't want to worry with it coming apart, you know. So I'm trying to get this lid off here. Just a second. And it, you know, it's always wanting to leak or do something crazy. So we're going to glue that down first thing. Now, I hope you guys had a good day with all this virus thing. I'm just, I'm done. I don't know about you guys. I'm so done with it. And I don't go hardly anywhere. I think it's the thought of not being able to go anywhere. And I just feel for the people that are hit by this virus, you know, and the families of the ones that have passed away. So keep them all in your thoughts and prayer. Okay, so I want to welcome all my new subbies too. Thank you, thank you. And welcome, welcome. Okay, let's see, I was looking to see if I got glue here because it didn't look like it for a second. Okay, so I'm going to pull it back like this again because I don't want to get glue on the back part and have to clean that up. So there is no right or wrong, okay, unless you plan something and you do something different, all right? I just kind of eyeballing, you know, where I put this. There's not a right or wrong. You just want to leave a border on the top and the bottom. And, you know, if you want to add a little bit of brown to this, you can, to kind of make it blend more with the background. But it really doesn't need it. Okay, now I have this Tim Holtz die. I cut out a bunch of these, and they're all different kinds. So I couldn't tell you which kit this came from, or which die set it came from, because he's got several. But anyway, I want to turn this over and use some glitter glue because it'll be much easier. But we're going to lay this, we're going to not lay it, but put it right here on this side. So, because we have more floral on this side here. And I'm going to kind of fix it where it stays toward the right. Okay. And then we're going to lay that down. This is how we're adding texture, because we don't really want it to be thick. I mean, you could add some things to be thick, I guess. But I just am trying. I'm just putting little dots because you know what will happen with this glue. It has a tendency to be runny. It is water-based. So, depending on what you're doing, it can wrinkle your paper. So, if you want to use something different, you could use a Xyron if you wanted to. Now, on this stem, I'm just doing like this, okay? I'm just putting one dot on each stem, the ones that are far apart, okay? Now, let me get my tweezers. I've got my tweezers. They're 100 years old. And I'm going to just try to lift it mostly by my tweezers, okay? Now, I know I'm going to have to flip it at some point. So, I'm going to see if I can get right in the middle. Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought I'd do. I'd drop it down. Okay, now, it's hard when it's this flimsy to get it to cooperate. But eventually, you can. Now, any excess glue that ends up on the paper, you know, you can just wipe that off with your finger. It does dry clear. This is one of those curvy, like, stems of greenery, but it's not green this time. I suppose it could be different colors, right? Okay, so there we go so far. That's what we've got. Now, I thought about this and I thought I want to stamp this somewhere. But I don't know now, looking at it, if I'm going to have a place to do that and put the butterfly on there. We might have to stamp it right there. And then we've got a double, on this one, we've got a double butterfly. Okay, we're going to glue both pieces down. I probably should have cut this off and brought it down more, but it's not a big deal. Okay, and then you can put this here. So yeah, I think that's all right. I just think it'll look cute with a little stamp on it. You know, what do I know? I've never made it. We're learning together. No, I haven't put one together yet. I'll put it that way. I have only, I should have put this on an acrylic block too. It might have helped. Okay, so I'm just going to take it up here as far as I can and over. I don't want to get on the actual, and this is going to be crooked. I just noticed by going sideways, I got it. See, it's crooked. That aggravates me. So what can I do? I don't know. So we'll just cover it up a little bit, but see, I don't like that. What can we put? We could put a label there, couldn't we? See, you have to always be prepared for something to go wrong, right? Let me grab a label. I think this book has my labels, and that really hacks me off. Never will I do a stamp without a block, when it's small especially, right? Because I just learned my lesson. Okay, so I have a lot of these faux stamps and stuff too, but I think they're going to be too big unless I'm fortunate enough to find a tiny one. Oh, I wish that one. There's a little one with a butterfly. No, it's not going to work because it's turned the wrong direction. Okay, let's see what we got here. You can take your tweezers, and so you don't run a risk of tearing anything. Get in there. I wanted it to just be like browns. Here's a little butterfly. See it right there? We'll put that there. I think that will cover it. But I will tell you, I am aggravated. That aggravates me. Okay. These books, I have 2 of them. I bought them from Bella and Gray on Facebook. They're wonderful. I keep my butterflies and labels and all that good stuff in there. Now, so much for the stamp. We'll just go back to the gluing. Now, this is already pretty dark, so I'm not going to try to ink it. I think it's already dark enough. Okay, so we're going to try to cover it. It's what we're going to try to do. Okay, so it might not be perfect. We may have a little bit sticking out, but at least it don't look so wonky. Yeah, it would have looked better with the stamp, in my opinion, but what do I say? I didn't get glue in that corner, I guess. There we go. So this is, I mean, I went ahead and prepped all these because I wanted to be able to relax and do the video. Now, see, this should have really been down a little bit. Now we're going to take these 2 butterflies. I didn't double the butterflies on every single one of these, just on this one because I liked the way it looked. So we're going to put a little bit of glue here on the back and just attach this one to this one. Okay, and now we're going to keep it like it's bent. And I'm doing that because I want to be able to give it a little bit of depth. And see, we're going to put it right here. That looks weird. So I'm going to bring it down so it doesn't look like it's all clustered in one spot. Let's see. Yeah. Already made a mistake, you know. Gluing it on the, stamping it wrong. Worked so hard all day to try to get it perfect. Now, I'm gluing in the center here of this butterfly. And I'm giving it a good blob because, you know, that's all the glue that's going to be on there. But we are going to do, I'm not putting the tape on the back. I'm going to do just like this. Bring it down a little bit so that it has its own little space here. Now, in between the two, which I probably should have done this to start with, is I got a little pop dot, and I mean little. I'm going to stick that under the wing of the small butterfly. And then on the other side, we'll do the same thing. And that's how you give your little butterflies dimension. And it will, you know, whenever you've got it in a book or whatever, it's not gonna, you know, closing the books, it's gonna, that's why it's got foam, because it goes up and down easily. So, you know, it might not look the same. You really should put those on before you glue it down. I'm breaking all the rules today. Okay, now, see, this is how easy this is. We're already coming right along. Now, I need to grab my bling box because I do want to put something on there. But first, I want to put a word on there. Now, we have to decide where we want it. Do we want this word dream down here or over here? No, I don't want it over there. We got enough on that side. We really need to balance this out and do it right about here. Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, so on this, I put different things on different ones. So this one, we're going to put dream right here and try to make sure you get it straight. When you're working on something and you're looking at an angle, it's hard sometimes to get things as straight as you want them. I'm going to grab my bling box. Give me a second. It's right behind me. I thought I had that left it out, but I guess somehow I must have just put it back without thinking. Okay, now let me see what I've got in here. I was thinking maybe a tiny little pearl on this one, but I also have a tiny little, no, I don't think that's pearl worthy. I have a little, that one's tiny right there. Let's do that one. We got one. We're just going to do one right here. And I'm going to pop it off. It's really peach, but it's almost pink. And it really looks more like the flowers than it does peach. Now, I'm just putting one on here. I'm not putting a roll, just a simple one. And I'm going to get my marker. Now, I always use the zig marker, the small tip side, to do my antennas. And I just go at the bottom and just kind of go quick and just do the antennas right there. Yay! One down. So you can also, on the inside, you could put like journal or whatever you want on the inside. I have a tendency to put prompts on mine, but now I don't like this. Leave it off. But if I had lowered this down, cut it off right here, and brought it down like I had planned, it would have looked cute over here. But here it just looks kind of weird. So this one is not my favorite. So we'll pull them all out at the end because I want us to splatter. Okay, so now let's bring out, this one is more simple. Some are harder than others. Some are simpler. Everything's been inked. So this tag, all the tags are the same size, 5 3/4 by 3. And that is just this half. You need to double that for the long part, okay? And then this is 5 3/4 by 3. Because I'm going to mat the whole thing with this lavender, okay? And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to do that. We want to put a mat behind this one. I just want to show you different ways to make these. You know, there's all kinds of tags out there. You can sit down and make a tag out of anything you have. You know, I mean, I'm just giving you ideas, okay? And I have to, seriously, and this is no lie, I have to rack my brain to come up with things. And once I get started on these series, then, you know, more ideas start falling into my brain. So, anyway, all right. I'll push this up so I can make sure you're able to see it. You want to cover up the tag. Want to make sure all the sides are even. Yeah, and see, this brown top is not supposed to be there, but I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to get it back up. You know, it has a tendency to have a mind of its own. Sometimes when it, see how it has this right here? I would want that covered. But instead, I went down too low. See, I'm not going to worry about either one. I'm not going to trim it. I'm not going to do anything to mess up this tag. Other than that. Okay, so now this is going to be on here. And this time you do want to get it in the right place, because we're going to mat it. I think that looks, I love these images, you guys. I just took an 8.5 by 11 digital sheet. And I just found the spot in that digital sheet I liked. And where I could show the most part of it. And if I wanted to do it, the shorter pictures that I did on the first tag, I would cut smaller. I'd look at the smaller portion, that the flower that wasn't as big. Okay, I'm going to do this. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay. Hope my head's not in the camera, because I have brushed it, but it looks like I haven't by now. It's the end of the day. Yeah, there we go. I love that. I love this color. Yay. Okay. So this one's a lot simpler. Now, it is more work to prep it. And I have this theory. If I'm going to make a bunch, I prep them all ahead of time. And then I do the fun part. Okay, this butterfly is going to go right here. And this is one of Tracy Fox's little mini or tiny embellishments. And I'm going to put it right here. But I think I might put some, what do I want to put? Do I want to lift it up? That's the thing. Do I want to lift it up? Or do I want to put sari silk behind it? You can do either one. But on this one, I think I want to lift it up. I'm not going to use any, on this particular video, I'm not going to use any sari silk or cheesecloth or anything like that. Okay? But I am going to put 3 little tiny pop dots. And that way it is up off of the tag. And I do that because I like it to create a little shadow, and you won't notice it just by looking at it, but if you weren't paying attention, you would then notice it probably. But putting these down, and I don't like the center to sink, so I'm putting 3 on here. A lot of people would say that's wasteful, probably. Now I want to get this straight, so I'm going to pay attention to myself here. Now, I think that's close enough. And then you just push them down real well so that they, but you know, it forms a shadow. I don't know if you can see it right here, but it has a shadow. And I like that about it. So I'm going to put 2 pop dots on this butterfly. 1 under each wing. But I don't put it up on the end. I put it closer to the body. That way it will, let me get this one out. These little things are snug in those little pockets. Because I don't like it to, this will make it go down. In other words, if you put it here toward the inside of the body, it's going to make the ends of the butterfly wings go up instead of flat. Now I'm going to put just a strip of glitter glue right there. And we're going to put our tag down, or our butterfly down. And he's going to be right there. And then if you pat these down a little bit, you'll see that that's as far down as they'll go. But you got to make sure your little butterfly attaches itself, okay? By holding the body for a second to let it glue down. And you know, glitter glue is pretty fast. Okay, so now we have the word beautiful, which I think is so true. This is really a pretty tag, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to run a strip. I don't remember where I was going to put this. We'll find out in just a second. Okay. All right, I think I decided to put it on the left, lower left. I did down here. So, but I do want it to be straight. Excuse me while I make sure. Okay, there we go. Now we want to look for a gem of some sort to put here. And obviously we want to do something lavender, right? I think. Let me see if I have any lavender. Nope, that's blue. Here's a little lavender one right there. It's going to look and see if there's an open package already. Here is a pink. No, that'd be too obvious, wouldn't it? I'm still looking. I'm looking to see how tiny, the tiniest ones I have in the right color. Okay. Or you can put a little pearl. Either one. So we have this pearl. We have this pearl. And here's some. Let's put one of these that's open. Okay. I just mixed up my... I'm telling you. All right. So we're going to put a little drop on our butterfly right up here. Now he's bigger. So if you wanted to put a medium here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Not a medium, but a small, and then an extra small pearl. Come on. There we go. Get down there, little fella. Now, he's got quite a bit of glue around him, so that will have to dry. That just happens sometimes. Especially with glitter glue because it's got so much water in it. Okay, now we're going to do this little tiny one. Just for the heck of it. But we need another little drop. It probably can attach itself with just a little dot that's already there. Okay, here we go. Get over. If I could just drop one in its place and not have it flip, it would be a miracle. Okay. Now, this, I'm going to show you up close here. Just a second. All right, let me put my antenna on there first. The antennas, one of the things I have found is you have to be able to go really thin and fast. But let me hold this up so you can see. Okay. All right. So let me put this cap back on. All right. All right. So that's number 2. Again, it can stand or it can lie or go into a pocket. So we have 1 and 2. Okay, and let those dry. I'm going to move this over and let's pull in the next one that just covers the middle, and we have to stencil. Okay, just so you know, this is going to be a peach flower, and it's going to have a mint green background, but we have to stencil. So let me open up my ink pad here and get my stencil over here. I got stuff everywhere on my desk. Listen, I literally did not know where to start on my desk. It's such a mess. Okay, so right here, I'm trying to look where it has the most swirly stuff going on. So we're going to take our little brush and our distressed ink, or oxide, either one. Okay, we want to make sure that it's not going to go ink over the top of the tag. So there we go. And again, I'm just doing like an inch, top and bottom. There we go. Now I'm going to turn it around. Isn't that it's a cool stencil. It's the first time I've used this stencil. I don't think I've bought it twice. You know, I find myself buying digitals twice. There has got to be an easier way to figure out how to keep your digitals organized. I've done it 3 or 4 different ways, and none of them work as far as I'm concerned. But I did buy a file cabinet at a thrift store. Just happened to go in there, you know, and there it was. And I was like, yay. So we're done with the stencil. And let me cover this ink back up. All right, now, so what we want to do next is we want to put our matte, our green down, because see, it's going to be like this. But it's not, you're not going to have any green on the sides, just the top and bottom. And that's what makes it different than the last one. Trying to get as close to the outside as I can so it doesn't stick up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I like my corners to not flip up. Okay, now, just kind of looking at it. I want to go down lower. See, you can see I'm already up too high. Let me go down. This one, it's like it grabs hold and it's not letting go. That's the Fabri-Tac. It's like, good grief, just cooperate. Now, hopefully I got it back in the right spot. You're better off to start on one edge, I'm finding. But see, it looks like it's a tiny bit too short, doesn't it? I think this one might be hanging off a little bit. So let's just pull it over a little bit, center it. I must have been too lazy to recut this one. I could have trim this portion off, but no, I didn't. Okay, now you have more showing on the bottom than the top, and that doesn't matter. That's what I was telling you earlier. Just eyeball it. Make it fun. Okay, now we're going to put this on, and we're going to leave a border at the top and the bottom. Okay? Let's see. Whoops, come on. Let's see. All right, I think we've got plenty on there. It's just trying to get it on the edge. Now, I'm going to turn this a little sideways so I can make sure I line it up with the green and have the right amount at the top and bottom. Now, in this instance, I do try to get the green to be this, you know, closer to the same size. And like you can see here, it's not going to be, but you can see on this one, I'm not that picky about, you know, this sort of stuff. If it looks good, I just keep going. It is off a little bit right there. Now, if that bugged you, you could just cut that, a sliver on each side. Not a big deal. And I don't worry about it if I'm slightly off on one border to the other border. That's not a big deal to me either. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do with these tags. You can add lace, you can add doilies, you can add, I mean, it goes on and on. Now, I'm using the Tim Holtz little flowers, and this one is no exception. It's getting it too. But this time I'm doing it correct. I'm, like I planned, I'm bringing it down here. Now, it can also hang off a little bit, which I think we can trim that off the sides. But let's go ahead and get it down with the glitter glue. So you want to put a good amount right in the middle. And then you just do the whole dotting thing, okay? I'm learning with this glue that you don't get carried away. If you try to apply it like you're applying Fabri-Tac, you're never going to get there. And so I've been learning off of other videos. Yes, I do watch other videos, and I do learn from other people. So there's a lot of talented people. Okay, now I'm going to lay that down. I think I might let it hang off a little bit. I shouldn't have put glue on that one side, but oh well, it's okay. Let's turn it over. Let me see here. Come on, cooperate. Let me get it on the top here. My hands get shaky. I'm an old lady. Okay, so I'm going to do it like this and let part of this hang off. Okay, now this is not peach. It's more of a kind of like a tangerine, but it really goes with the dark shadows of the picture here, the photo or the pics or the digital or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to trim these off by turning my tag over and tossing them in the trash. Can't believe I didn't touch any glue with those scissors. I had to turn the fan on for a minute. These lights are so hot. I'm finding that these lights are super hot. Okay, here we go. Now, so we have another butterfly, of course, and we're going to put him on the same way. We're going to put him, you know, we're going to put a little thing on the back of each wing, a pop dot. I'm going to put it right there. Well, I literally folded that one right in half trying to get it out. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, I take off the paper. So I don't forget, get the butterfly body with some glitter glue. These are time consuming. They don't seem to be because we didn't prepare the thing together. But I will tell you, they are time consuming. So I'm going to put this one higher up. But I'm going to hold down the body right there for a second and let it dry. And on this one, I found a cute little tiny ladybug. And I'm just going to kind of put it down here somewhere. I just thought he looks like he needs to go on the page. So that's what he's doing. It's not the best fussy cutting on this tiny little thing. Ooh. I'm trying to remember where I had thought about putting him. I'm not going to really worry about it. Let's see, maybe he can go right here on the leaf. Whoops. Come here. Let me get my tweezers after you. Okay. Let's see, do we want it right here? Yeah, I like that. It came with some letter thing from Foxy Creations. So, okay, so I had this to put right here. Just some little random tag. And then I was going to put kind. Kind is my word this year. Right across the middle. But I'm thinking, is that going to look too flat if I do that? No, I don't like it there. I think I'm going to do it like this. I think I'm just going to put it right here. No, I don't like it there either. Let's see. There. I've already got one down in this area, but we don't have one right in here, do we? Doesn't actually have to touch the orange flower. Yeah, that's where we'll put it. Let's do that while we're right here. Okay. All right. Key is to keep it straight. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to use sari silk or any of that stuff, you can. Or cheesecloth or muslin or something to put behind your items, you can. And I normally, that would be something I would do. I'm trying to get the glue tip to work there. It's not always that easy. Okay, so now on this one, I want to find a gem or something. I had this one, but I put it on there a second ago and looked, and I think it doesn't blend well enough. At least I'm thinking it doesn't. It may end up on there because it may be the only thing that is that color in my stash of goodies here. Excuse me while I look. I would bring this over there, but it barely fits on the edge of the table. Okay. Okay. No, I don't like that one. Really, it's that one or just a shiny one. So let's just look and see which one looks the best. Because I don't have any, I have these little pearls. Oh yeah, that looks way better. That's way better. We'll do one of these little pearls. I keep all my, anything that I use like that except for Brad's in one of these wooden boxes that you can get at Hobby Lobby, a shoe box, you know, the decorative ones. Okay, now I'm going to put this here and I'm going to make it bigger and see what we end up with. Hopefully it fits just fine. Now which size? That big one is just too big, I think. So I think we'll go down to the medium size right here. Yeah, that's better because the biggest one, which would fit better, see, it would fit better, but it is not flat enough. It would be stick out too much. It's taller than that one. Okay, let me put this in here and so we can move it along. Do you guys hate packaging as much as I do? I wouldn't care, except these all being together, you know, you have a tendency to want to. Oh, we also need, hello, forgot about the little butterfly. He needs his little gem. So we'll just do him the same way. So I have to take this stupid package off again. Oh, where's me? Let's see. I'll put it back on later. Okay, so we just need to put a little bit on this little guy. He normally would have, I wonder if I have any black. Woohoo! He normally would have black. I do, but they're really big. So we had some small black. I need to get some, don't I? This is reason enough right here to get some. Oh, wait a minute. I just found some really cool ones. See that little tiny one right there? Will work. Here we go. It's right here. All right. Put a little bit of glue right there. I would like it to be even smaller than this, but this is the smallest. It has kind of a, it has glitter in it, which is really cool. So it can look like his head a little bit there. Get on there. It's pretty big. Okay, there we go. Nice. Now we're going to do our antennas. I'm going to hold that down a little bit. This pen is about run out, so that's why I had to go over that. It just didn't cooperate. All right, there we go. And they're similar. They're not the same, but they are similar to each other. And I like how they turned out. Okay, we'll bring them all back out together after we do this last one. Let me see what time it is. Get this out of the way. Okay, we still have 10 minutes. So, let's pull this one over. We can do the last one. All right. Okay, so we're looking at the same type thing, okay? And basically, we're just going to glue this on, okay? Just like we did earlier on the others. And it does not have a mat. I just cut it the same size as the front of the tag. Okay. Okay, one more little drop right there. Okay. Now, let's see if I can get this on there the right way to start with. Wouldn't that be great? Let's see. I'm already about to put it on there upside down. Okay, so I'm going to line it at the bottom and line it to the left. It's the best way to do it, I say. Okay, here we go. It's close enough anyway. All right, now on this one, I decided to do a doily. Doesn't take many brains to figure that out, right? You just put, this is the best to use here is this glitter glue. I'm going to put it all down in here pretty good so, you know, it fits pretty nicely. The nice thing about it is, see this, this point is so small, you can just, you know, hopefully not overuse it. It's hard sometimes. Okay, now, I'll see if I can get this on here straight. Come on. Especially after you've like drenched it with. I'm going to pull this down so I can see the top. Then I'll push it back up. You have to line it up even. Oh, I just tore it because I didn't let that up. Oh, it's okay. It's just a baby tear. Now, right now, you can see the glue. It's soaking through the doily, and that's okay because that will dry. And you won't be able to see anything at that point. So we're going to do the same sort of thing with this one. We're going to add this little blue flower right here. It's the closest blue I had, and I think it wasn't so bad. Now, when you're cutting these little flowers, you know, if you can do them double-sided, that can really be helpful. So you could do it either side, see? Okay, my husband made dinner tonight. Woo! That's what's going to happen when he retires. He's going to get in that kitchen. He never has cooked dinner. I mean, he has cooked dinner. I said that wrong. He hasn't been a person that likes cooking dinner, okay? He really doesn't know how to cook, but I've been teaching him slowly. I taught him how to make taco soup. That was one of the first things I taught him, and he did well. He fixed us the best grilled cheese I've had in forever, it seems like today at lunch. And going to put the pop dots on the back of that. Now, this is a bigger butterfly, you might notice. I think I decided to put him kind of at this side. And the reason is he's bigger, you know. He is much bigger than the other butterflies. But I just felt like we needed a big one. We needed a big little guy. Okay, let's get some pop dots out to put on the back of the butterfly. Come on. It's wanting to attach to my fingernail. Okay. Okay, come off of there. All right. And over here. Come off of there. Okay, so we're going to put him right here. Now, he's much bigger. Now, he's hanging off. You're going to need to take that into consideration when you do your, whenever you do your, do I want to pop that up? I think I want to pop that up. So let's just do that. Since, you know, he's so big and all. Let me get this stick back in there. Okay. So we're going to pop this up like we did that one other thing. Because we're already going to have to pay attention to his wing sticking off there. But you don't have to put him over that far. I just like, that's just where my eye put him. And so that's... Okay. All right. Come on, come on. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to put this down here. I got to decide if I want it up or down. I want it right in here. Let me make sure that looks straight. That little tag is kind of crooked, so you have to kind of, it's not actually on there crooked, it's the tag. See how it kind of goes up on that side? Okay. All right. I think I'm going to put a dab of glue, because this one's bigger. I'm going to put like a dot of glue under the bottom portion of the wings so that, you know, it just helps hold it on. All right. Now we just have to do the gem that we're going to put on this one. And then, let's see what we got here. I discovered we've also got blue there, but it's not the right blue. Look at that glittery one. I want to put him on there. It's just for fun, right? We're going to put that little glittery dude on there. Right here. We'll make it like his head. When they're bigger butterflies, I do that. Although the black would probably look better as his head. But we're still going to do this one. Okay, here we go. Look how cool that is. What brand is that? That's Prima. I should have known. It is Prima. Ooh. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm looking here thinking, what else does this need? Does it need anything else, do you think? Like you can answer me, right? I know what it needs, and we're going to do it quickly because we don't want, let me move this glue because we're not going to need it. We got to do his antennas first, but we're going to put the lids on the glue because they're going to dry out if we don't. Now we're going to do his antennas, and hopefully they'll do okay on this doily that's kind of wet. I'm going to do it slow. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, was it? Considering. Okay, let me move these. I want to move stuff that I don't want to get demolished or covered in paint. So, you know, I like to do, and I do this on a lot of stuff, or I used to, especially on my mixed media. I like to, let me move this over. So I'm going to open this up, my watercolors, and we're going to find black. Where is the black on here? Right there, number 3. And we're going to splatter these dudes. Now, I would splatter white as well if I had white in this palette. I didn't want to dig out my other ones. These were right here, and I'm just like, these will work. So what you do is you go over here and you wet your little black, get it really good and wet. Get a lot of paint on your brush. Then you're going to bring it over here to your palette side. Make sure you do as much as you can. You go back and dip it again. Get a lot of pigment of the black. Now we're going to get our brush wet and we're going to water. Now you can overwater this, but if you do, when it lands on your project, it's going to be watery looking, okay? And I've done it plenty of times. Okay, now I'm going to move these others so they don't accidentally get really splattered. Now, you guys watched me do this the other night when we did the watercolor. See, there they go. And I'm trying to not, you don't want giant splatters, okay? And what is the saying? Less is best. Now, let me show you how that looks. I gotta find a place to put my pen. Doesn't that make a huge difference? You know, I just think it does. It makes a huge difference. Okay, so that one is done. I'm setting it aside. So last time you'll see it, unless you ask to see it again. Okay, here is this one. We're going to do the very same thing. Load your brush. That splatters. Have your other brush. Normally, I'd have another paintbrush. And then you're going to do the same thing. And I'm really trying to avoid getting too much on the orangey flower. And mostly get it, you know, on the picture. Yeah. But it's okay if it gets on there. Okay. There we go. I like the way that looks. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, that's number 2. Now we're going to bring over number 3, which we use more glue on. So you're going to have to, when you use anything wet, you're going to have to watch it because it's going to want to roll up a little bit. Here we go. Load your brush before you do it. Start off up higher, and then you can come down lower. Now, if you're wanting to do really big splashes, you would want to use more paint. There we go. more paint in your brush. Okay. All right, number 3. Now let's bring over number 4. Okay, let's wet the brush again, load it up. Okay, here we go with our little dream tag. I'm doing it the same way. And as soon as you're done, the lucky thing is a lot of people do this with acrylics, and you can, but you're better off to do it with watercolors. You get the same effect as long as you don't water them down too much. You get the same effect, and you know, if it gets on things in your room or on your table, and mine has, then you just wipe it off with something wet, and it takes care of it right away. So that's perfect, right? Okay, I'm going to move this, bring out our 4 tags on this spotty table. Let me kind of hit it real quick so I don't forget to kind of wipe this little bit off. I mean, it'll get on your sewing machine. It'll get on anything you have in the area. Okay, here we go. I didn't take into consideration, I'm going to lay that over. I didn't take into consideration that now the table's wet. Goofy me. So, let me get over this way. I think they're all in camera. I just put my hand right into that paint. Okay, guys. I really hope you enjoyed part 2 of the tag series. You know, there's all kinds of tags to do. You just have to use your imagination. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you so much. Keep coming back and supporting my channel. I appreciate you all. And welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.